what are the differences between men and women, and why does it matter? It matters because a lot of these differences are related to the problems that we experience in our relationships. If we understand the differences between men and women, it will help us, one, to understand ourselves, two, to understand our partner, and then figure out how to work with each other in a way that makes our relationships more functional. And you'll be able to see that through some of these dynamics that they're actually the opposite of each other, and you can see how easily they would cause problems. Now, I'm very aware of the fact that some women have some masculine characteristics in the relationship and men feminine. What happens is we tend to have opposites. So if one person has a male characteristic in one area, the woman tends to have the opposite, or the other person has the opposite of that. So but what it does happen is a lot of times we think that we're dealing with dysfunctional things when we're actually dealing with just normal differences between the sexes. So for men have single focused brains, and women have multitasking brains. What does this mean? This means that when a man is working on a car, watching TV, on the computer, or even in a conversation, that he's going to focus on that one thing and have a really hard time just shifting, paying attention to an in-depth conversation while he's doing a task. In the conversation, jumping from one subject to another and talking about feelings and thinking at the same time. Whereas a woman, she can do all of that. She can be doing a task, listening, thinking, reasoning, and maybe even carrying on two conversations at the same time. For men, they need respect, admiration, and approval. Respect means just honoring them for who they are as a man, recognizing their role, their need to lead, the things they do for you, appreciating them, and letting them know that you approve. For a woman, she needs love, attention, and affection. So this means that a man shows her that he loves her by his attention, by his time, by his paying attention to what she needs, what she feels, just giving her that extra nurturing. For men, they want to compete, and women want to be romanced. So in a relationship, this means that a man needs to take the lead. He needs to know that he needs to pursue the woman, that he needs to be seeking her out. And a woman, you look at the love stories and the romances that we read, we want to have that fairy tale romance. For men, they solve problems and want to get to the bottom line. For women, they talk about things and want empathy, not solutions. So what does this mean? This means that in a conversation where a woman is explaining something that bothers her, something that happened, something she's upset about, she wants to say all the details. She wants him to listen. She wants him to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, and that must be terrible." She doesn't want him to solve it. But for him, loving and caring means that he listens, gives her the solution, and he's done with it. So you can see how that one can create some fireworks. For men, they talk to resolve things, and women talk to process, get information, feel closer, and calm emotions. So again, the man talks just enough to figure out the solution and be done. But a woman is getting her emotions out. She's calming herself. She's feeling relationship and connection. She doesn't really care about the resolution or the answer. She's processing. For men, they're logical and rational, and women are emotional. So men are thinking and women are feeling. And so what happens in conversation is a woman will say, "How do you feel?" And a man is more comfortable telling you what he thinks, and a woman needs to tell you what she feels. Men talking about the relationship means it is not working. For a woman, opposite. Talking about a relationship means it is working. So when you say to a man, "I need to talk to you about our relationship problems," the first thing he thinks is, "We have them? Oh no, I don't want to have that conversation because that means we really do have them." So he will avoid it. And for a woman, talking about the problem makes her feel connected, makes her feel loved, makes her feel attended to. Men feel successful when their job is going well. Women feel successful when the relationship and the family is doing well. So a man, if he has a crisis at work, if he loses his job, his self-image is going to be challenged, his self-esteem. For a woman, when things are not well in the marriage, in the home, that's devastating to her. Men go into their cave to recoup, which means shut out and shut down. Women interpret this cave time as the man disconnecting from the relationship and from them. So women need to understand that men need that downtime in a way that they do not. For men, sex is intimacy. For women, talking is intimacy. So what that means is that a man needs to emotionally connect with a woman for her to want sex. And then a woman needs to understand that for a man, sex is intimacy. Both of them go together. A man says what he means, straight. That's it. No hidden meanings, nothing you need to read into it. But for a woman, she means more than she says. And men will say, I don't understand. She said X. Why did she not mean X? Because women have more to what they're saying underneath. And guys are confused at having to figure that out. But women in the relationship are looking at what a man is saying and they're saying, what else is going along with that? What's underneath that? What did he really mean? And have a hard time recognizing, just take his words at face value. For men, they're protectors and hunters, and women are nurturers and gatherers. And that has to do with how God made us. God made the woman to bear the children, to nurse them, to take care of them, to nurture them, and for men to protect the family and to provide for the family. For a man, admitting a mistake means losing honor, but a woman needs an apology to heal. So you really have to understand this. For a woman, asking a man to admit what he did wrong and apologize, for him, that means that he's admitting that there's something wrong. He loses that honor as a man. Now, women, you need to understand that when men have a disagreement or a problem, when they see each other, they don't have a lengthy conversation about it. They just say, hey bro, how you doing? Slap each other on the back, and it's over and done. But women need to have a long conversation. What happened? What did you do wrong? What are you going to do to make it not happen again? And they need to hear those words, I'm sorry. So again, this one needs to be worked out in relationship because both people have two conflicting strong needs. Men are motivated to change by appreciation and approval, but women are motivated to change by confrontation and discussion. So for a woman, when she wants her husband to do something different, she's going to confront and discuss seriously, I need more help around the house. I am really unhappy with the fact that you're not helping around the house. I'm overwhelmed. She's going to go on and on. But a man is motivated more by her saying, my gosh, I value your help. And I love it when you help me with things with the house. When you take the child, when you get home from work and you take him out to play or you help me with dishes, I'm just so loved. I appreciate that so much. And that makes a man say, I'm going to do more of that. Now, men can't be emotionally close without a break, but women can, meaning they can just continue in the relationship and have intense intimacy and closeness without feeling like they have to pull away. Men need to pull away. But then men do not have to have a reconnect time after they have had a break, whether that's short term in the relationship or they've been away for a while, whereas women need to reconnect emotionally after there's been some kind of break or time apart in the relationship. I think you can see how these opposite characteristics can cause many problems in our relationship. And again, these aren't necessarily, they're not related to dysfunctional stuff, just normal differences. If we can understand ourselves, understand the opposite sex, recognize how we can approach our partner in a different way that takes their needs into consideration, as well as still being true to ourselves, you will find that your relationships will be drastically different.